Mommy says you went to the store to get milk. Anyways, I'm failing all my classes, and Mommy hits me very frequently, and she changed my name to John Fallout. Anyways, Daddy, I forgive you for... It's been 20 years, Daddy. I really, really hate you. Mommy told me the truth before she died. I know you left us. I killed Mommy and her new boyfriend, and I've taken over the world. But don't worry. I know where you are, and I'm gonna hunt you down and kill you. You better watch your back.
My name's Gondola, and right now, I'm unemployed. Being unemployed means you have a lot of time on your hands. Time that you have to fill with something. Applying for jobs right now is mind-numbing. What do you do in the times when you're not rubbing your gray matter into a cheese grater? In this video, I'm going to tell you how to fill your time with Fallout 4, and give you a review of the game from the perspective of a drunk loser with too much time on his hands, and how being a deadbeat dad is actually a good thing. Fallout 4 came out in 2017. 3 showed that the change from isometric to the new genre could work, and New Vegas showed that there was a lot of potential in the franchise and the universe. Which one of those two is better is entirely up to personal preference, and like most things is dictated by which one you played as a kid. Me personally, I got Fallout 3 for Christmas when I was like 8, and it scared the shit out of me, and little kid me spent hours playing it. Albeit like shit, I fucking sucked. I never really got into New Vegas, it just didn't hit the same. I didn't like the orange palette versus the green, but when 4 was announced, I was getting pretty excited. Fallout 4 is pretty controversial. It does away with a lot of the heavier RPG elements like the dialogue and knowing exactly what you're gonna say.
Your thoughts?
I won't let you down, sir.
Your thoughts?
Mr. Drake, I'm glad you're here.
Your thoughts?
Tally-ho!
Your thoughts?
Yes, well, isn't this all very exciting?
Your thoughts?
But it does add a lot in the way of customization, namely in the base building and the armor customization and the guns. It pissed a lot of people off, the internet crybabies had been shitting on it for years, but it has had a lot of cool DLCs and updates, and right now it's a great starting point for the Fallout franchise. If your dad watched the show and wants to know which one to play, tell him this one. I haven't played Fallout 76, so I asked my friend Lord Shax, who has played it, his opinion, and this is what he had to say.
Boom. Roasted.
Thank you, Shax. Now, before I talk about my categories, something very important about how to play Fallout 4. You have to be a deadbeat dad. I mean, technically, you're only really supposed to be responsible for about 18 years, and in-game, it's been about 200, so I reckon you're in the clear. Do the questline, hunt him down, and then, when you get to the final confrontation with Kellogg, the guy who stole your son, just don't do it. Leave him in there for a while. Go off and explore the rest of the wasteland. Fuck around and do whatever takes your fancy. I'll talk about all you could do later in the fun section. In my last video, I talked about pricing. But for games that aren't free or live service, it's kind of redundant category. For games that are a one-time purchase with DLCs, we're going to be comparing how many hours we get out of it versus the dollar price. The goal to shoot for is to spend $1 for an hour of fun. I got the Game of the Year edition on sale for $24, which has all the DLCs in it. It's usually running for $40. I did have to get it on Epic, however. Now you can easily squeeze 40 hours out of this game if you play it right and take your time fucking around. Right now, the game gives you a great bang for your buck if you don't have a job, and all those savings, alongside the fact that your son is someone else's problem, means that you can stop buying dumb shit like diapers and food and save up for the important things, like Jack, scratchers, and cigs. For pricing, we're gonna give Fallout 4 4 out of 5 Gondolas. Next up is fun. Before anything else, I want to say you can have your robot butler call you almost anything you like, and they have voiced it.
Mr. Orgasmo!
Do I look like a carpenter to you?
I don't know what you look like.
A chef! One of my favorite things about Fallout is the different builds. Me personally, I like going with rifles and snipers and abusing the VAT system. My best friend likes doing Grognak builds where you play as a big dumb barbarian and zip around punching people's heads off. The games also have a bunch of random wacky weapons that can freeze people, fire junk and scrap, fire cannonballs. There's also a pretty in-depth customization system that lets you customize your armor, weapons, and even your robotic companions in one of the DLCs, so you can put a dumper on Cogsworth. And this shouldn't come as a surprise if you're at all familiar with the Fallout franchise, but the music fucks. I'm the mighty man, I'm young and I'm in my prime. One of the downsides that came with simpling the RPG elements is that you never know exactly what you're going to say, and it really does prevent you from feeling like the character.
Maybe I don't want to talk to you.
Also, if you start a bunch of settlements, they can get consistently raided unless you give them a surplus of supplies and defense, and that's going to take a lot of resources. But if you don't do that, Harvey consistently bugs you, which is that whole meme, so it's definitely a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Additionally, and this might just be a me problem, sometimes you can spend ages running around a building trying to find the way out or to the quest, but I might just be a dumbass. It's not a huge, life-changing piece of media or anything crazy, the story's not that insane, it's got a few fun twists, but it's definitely a fun little fuck around. For fun, we're gonna give it a 3 out of 5. Now wait, don't freak out, don't get pissed. I want to clarify something real quick. We're using the donkey rating method. 3 out of 5 means it's good, 4 out of 5 means it's really good, and 5 out of 5 means it's a fucking masterpiece, okay? Next up, my parents' favorite parts of my videos, inebriated play. Typically, after pounding a few, I can just chill and enjoy the game. If it has a competitive mode, I won't touch it, like in Destiny or League for example. It ain't fair to my team if I'm not playing my best. With single player is a game that's not usually an issue. I don't need yellow paint scrawled on every surface, and in fact I love environmental storytelling guiding me where I need to go without a quest marker. Fallout, however, does have a major drawback, and that is the navigation. Obviously it does have quest markers to tell you where to go, but once you're inside a building that shit goes bye-bye and you're left to fend for yourself. Many times I would find myself trying to find my way through a building with multiple entrances you can come in, and sometimes I'll miss like an inconspicuous doorway or an elevator and spend ages just wandering around because I done turned off my brain. There is a perk that will guide you around with the VAT system, but I never really wasted a point on it, or probably should have. And with every interior looking exactly the same, it can be hard to find your way around without using resources if you're drunk or stupid, which unfortunately I am both. Thanks to the VAT system, I don't even have to aim. There's a certain humor that the Fallout series has that means you'll regularly find something that's really weird or really funny and just fucking goofy. There's skeletons left all over the place, there's jump scares left for you. Now when I get high, I have to ask myself, do I want to play this game, or do I want to just veg out and watch man in rural China roleplay being a peasant in the 70s? Typically, I'll go with my man Biaoji. I'm sorry, Chinese speakers, if I fucked that up. And unfortunately, Fallout is no exception here. While the VAT system will help me aim with my delayed reflexes, it just doesn't really bring anything to the table that would make me want to do it over watching this guy make something weird. So for inebriated play, we are actually going to give it a 2 out of 5. Alright, now it's time for the time sink category. When you're unemployed, you got all the time in the world. We don't want to spend that time thinking, okay? We have to outrun those thoughts just like you outrun your child. Bethesda is well known for 3 things: releasing Skyrim, buggy-ass games, and releasing Skyrim. And packing worlds full of side quest gags and just tons of random shit. There actually is a wrong way to play a Bethesda game. Fast traveling from quest marker to quest marker, ignoring everything else. Most of the side quests in the game aren't dumb shit like kill 30 wolves, fetch me 8 apples, and kill this one guy who's slightly bigger than the other guys. No. They handcraft each area to make sure that each one tells a little story and is connected to the greater world around it. I've been playing Skyrim for years, and I will still stumble on random shit I never saw before. Like the scuba den that's actually like full of vampires, or the headless horseman you can find on the road. Fallout 4 does suffer from having some of those repeatable quests, but these are more to lead you to new areas so that you can go and find the curated ones around there. For example, I got one of these repeatable quests to liberate a potential settlement, and while I'm there, I discover the chillest robot alive.
¿Quieres?
You can send him back to the factory for maintenance, and along the way you'll fall dick first into tons of other branching storylines, events, and quests. You can create interconnected trade routes between all your settlements, improving their quality of life and helping defend them from raiders and deathclaws. However, if you set them up right, you don't even need to help them. Grab the screws, okay? You need screws. Screwing got you into this mess, and screwing's about to get you out. You can find legendary guns on tough enemies that come with special perks, and then modify them to create your perfect piece. You can battle giant monsters, build robots, go do the DLCs, which I haven't done yet, get the best armor in the game, and then travel through the endgame area and just demolish everything that's inside. Not to mention mods. There are some really impressive and crazy mods out there. Some great, some infamous. One of them was furry bait, and it was like really messed up and not in a funny way. People waited years for it, and when it dropped, they got this. Outside of that, there's still lots of crazy mods to add a practically infinite amount of content to your game. There's even one that puts Fallout New Vegas in Fallout 4. Once you feel pretty satisfied with your progress and your new civilization, then, and only then, do you go finish off that ugly serial fuck and change the state of the map forever. Now, I'm not gonna spoil it because you might not have played it yet. Imagine sinking hundreds of hours into Skyrim and having no idea the dragons spawn until you're already in the endgame armor. That was my first experience playing Fallout 4 because I weren't looking for my bitch ass son. That's why it's important to abandon your kid. He's only holding you back. Really, if you're not being a deadbeat dad, you're actively harming your own enjoyment, and that's just selfish. TimeSync gets a 4 out of 5 Gondolas. Don't be selfish. Abandon your kids. So with those scores tallied up, we have Fallout 4 at 13 out of 20. A perfectly respectable score for a game that for a while was considered the weakest one in the franchise. Few games on the market reward you for being a dick to kids. And if you've been on my channel for a minute, you know that's important to me. This is only my second review, essay, whatever. I just want to say thank you to the old guard Gondolians, the new Gondolians, and everybody who enjoys my ramblings. My next one is probably going to either be Elden Ring, Cyberpunk, or Outer Worlds, since I love that game. Let me know in a comment which one of those three you'd like to see, or if you have any other suggestions. Please like and subscribe, and maybe I won't have to get a job. And remember, just because that baby looked like you, don't mean it's yours. GWP, Gondola World Power.